So the next stage of the project is to make a box to house all the electronics, the servo, battery, etc. This is just a cardboard model of it. Get an idea of the shape. This is the ideal shape that I would like, because it follows the top tube there, but unfortunately it's just going to be too small to fit everything in. So I've made this one instead. The construction is going to be aluminium, apart from the side that's facing us. This side here is going to be clear so that you can see into the electronics. The shift cable will come out of here and go down to the hub down there, obviously. Next thing is to find some metal. It's going to be quite a complicated shape to make on the top here, and some sheet metal for the sides, and then a strong bracket inside to hold the servo. So I've just been having a look at the shape of the top tube here, and it actually tapers down and also becomes squarer than it does up at the front end of the bike. So I'd like to try and replicate that and continue it onto the box here. So I'm just going through my bits of aluminium. So I've chosen to use the square section because it's so soft it's almost bendable by hand. I've made this shape. It's quite complicated, but it's looking quite good so far. It's going to need a bit of filling in there. Ideally it'd be nice to weld it, but I can't do that. And it's going to fit that shape there. I've found this scrap. It's aluminium corrugated roofing. It's been flattened out. It might be too ripply, I'm not sure. We're going to see. I'm going to cut out, I've marked out, I'm going to cut out the back of the box that goes against the frame and the underside there. That shouldn't matter if it's got a bit of a ripple to it. That's it all cut out now, and next is to do the folds. I put these extra tabs along the side and they should help to strengthen it and join the sides on. Just put a few more bends in it. That's it, starting to take shape now. This bit obviously fits onto there like that. This bit's going to have a curvature to fit the tyre. So I've just temporarily assembled this with a piece of card on the back there, just to get an idea of how the servo mount's going to work in here. So it needs to be quite strong. It needs to stop the servo from twisting. So it needs to be anchored to the back of the box and ultimately the frame of the bike, and also needs to stop it from pulling downwards as well with the cable tension. So I'm going to work on that next before I add too much to this box and make it difficult to work on. So I've got this piece of angle I'm going to clean up a bit and make a bracket out of. The servo bracket finished, and that means that I now know how far this pulley is going to be from the bottom of the box. So I don't normally do this, but I've drawn a scale drawing because it's worth getting this right, because otherwise the cables scrape on the holes in the box. Using this outer cable here, I've been able to work out from the angles the distance the holes need to be apart. I've also measured these end caps here for the cable, and all the ones that I can find here seem to be 5.7mm, so a 6mm hole should be ideal. So I've gone ahead and made this part, which will go on the end of these cables. Next I need to make a bracket to go on the back of this, which will obviously have smaller holes in, to stop these pulling through, and it will go up the back of the box. So I've filled that gap with glue now, just need to sand it to a nice curve. I've reinforced this edge here with this strip, and I've also made this bracket here. It's going to reinforce that corner against the cable anchors here getting pulled up towards the servo. So because I can't get to the other side of the rivet very easily, I'm pre-hammering over the head on one side using this method here. and there's a rivet with the head on one side of it. I've got these little tiny rivets here, and the next stage is to rivet the side, which I've cut here, onto the top. So that's going to go on there like that, and I'm going to put some glue in there as well, and then rivet it all into one piece. That's the side. Now we're attached to the top. Rivets and a bit of glue as well. It's a bit heavier than I wanted, but it's nice and strong. I think I'm going to give this a really thorough sanding, so that will take a little bit of the thickness away from the metal, because it's not a perfect surface at the moment. And then we're going to attach it to here, like so. So I've got lots of rivets to do all around inside here, up there, and in the top there as well. So a collection of rivets made that I need for the next bit to rivet the two halves together. I'm glad that's over. The glue sets far too quickly. Otherwise it's pretty much in one piece now. Just need to make the clear plastic cover for the front. This is the servo bracket, and this is going to be the main bolt that attaches the box to the bicycle. So I've drilled the hole right next to the edge, and that will stop it from turning. Hopefully, when it's pulled in tight, it should stop it turning, and that's going to go into here, like that. And this bracket's going to go underneath here, and the whole lot should be like that. That should clamp the whole lot together, along with some prop rivets as well that I'm going to put in up here and a few more down here to hold the whole lot together, and then we can attach this onto here. Riveted into place, just need to drill the holes out for the inner cable to go through, and this is also all riveted in place, and it's all nice and rigid. I'm really happy with that, and it's also quite lightweight as well, really, for what it is. Just sanded this down, and I reckon a plastic box would probably be about the same weight, I should think. I've made this bracket here to attach it to the frame, so the angle there will stop it from slipping down. It will catch the bridge across here, and it goes on like so. When I come to bolt this on properly, I will use rubber inner tube underneath all the patches where it contacts against the frame, but for the moment this will just allow me to try it out, and it seems pretty secure, and see how it looks on the frame as well. So the next challenge is to work out how to fit everything in. We've got two 18650s to fit in, and the circuit board, which is going to have the Arduino on it. I don't need to use this entire piece, but I'd like to get as much as I can into there for the extra components. I've been puzzling over where to put these, and I think the best place is to have them both down here side by side, rather than separated, one up there and one down at the bottom, or at different angles or something like that. I'm going to put them in there like that, and then I'm going to put a piece of angle from top to bottom across here that's going to clamp these in place against the side. Again, they'll be padded with bits of rubber inner tube, and then that angle will be useful to screw this onto, which will go in something like that, with some of this cut out here, and the Arduino is going to sit there so that it's going to be nice and visible from the outside clear panel that's going to go over the front here. I've riveted in the top here a bracket, and that will take this piece here, hold it at the top, like so. And now I need to invent some way of clamping that against the 18650s. I've put this kind of wedge angle bit of metal here that, if it's pushed down, will push this in against the 18650s. They seem to be nice and secure, but I'm going to put a bolt in here, this aluminium bolt here, just to stop that from popping up and coming loose. It is a rather high vibration environment though, so I think I'm going to have to think carefully about how I'm going to protect these cells from rubbing and shorting against the metalwork. And again here as well, because there's going to be the servo is going to be there, so I might have to find some sort of plastic or something to pack it out, as well as some rubber, but at the moment that looks pretty good.